All right, all right, all right. About to go live for these boxing talks. Hey, close that door, man. I ain't trying to get in no trouble for no copyright strike. Hold on, y'all. Yo, close that door with that music, man. Back to what I was saying. I'm gonna post the link for the people on Twitter. The people that always say they want to debate me but never show up. Live boxing talks. I posted a poll here and Twitter in reference to who people feel has the better resume, Andre Ward or Canelo Alvarez. That's not saying that either man's resume is bad, but between them, who is the more accomplished fighter? Because at the end of the day, Andre Ward is retired. You know, they're not going to fight. They're not about to fight as far as I know. Stefan was good. Tyrion was good. JD was good. Johnny was good. Dougie was good. Christopher was good. JBN was good. Jacob was good. Sophia was good. Fistiano was good. AJJJJ was good. Nicholas Parra was good. Um, yeah, so I posted a poll here on the channel in reference to two very accomplished fighters, two guys who have been ranked as the number one pound for pound fighter, at least for a time, in their respective era at some point in their careers. At one point in Andre Ward's career, he was ranked as the number one pound for pound fighter in the sport. Currently, many periodicals and many people, many boxing fans, they rank Canelo Alvarez as the number one pound for pound fighter in the sport. They have that in common, but there are many discrepancies between them, things that they don't have in common. I'm a facts guy. I'm a facts and stats guy. I like to take the emotions and the anecdotes out of the conversation because I don't like emotional people. I don't like anybody who becomes so driven by emotion that they are devoid of logic. That's the way my pound for pound list is. That's why it's a facts by the numbers kind of list. There are no anecdotes. Appreciate that, Unrivaled. Pioneers. And yeah, I'm more or less a facts by the numbers kind of guy. That's just I like to keep it that way because emotions cannot be trusted, and you can be emotionally compromised. You understand? There are too many people that become enamored with an idea and a notion, and it hinders their objectivity. So, you know, Andre Ward said what he said about Canelo Alvarez. He compared, or at least I'm not going to say he. Well, yeah, he did compare. He tried to classify Canelo Alvarez's matchmaking, rather Gervonta Davis's matchmaking, as being similar to what Canelo Alvarez is doing. That everybody's you know, everybody's guilty of creative matchmaking to some degrees, right? Though mentioning Canelo Alvarez and Gervonta Davis in the same sentence, it ruffled a lot of feathers, and I understand why. You can have your issues with Canelo Alvarez. You know, you don't have to love him, like you don't, but there's a distinct difference in those two guys' careers. So when Ward did this, a lot of people got upset, and you started hearing a lot of this and that. I put up a poll, you know, which one of these two guys has the better resume, Andre Ward or Canelo Alvarez. And whether you saw the poll here on YouTube or you saw it on Twitter, it was the exact same result. Out of 1,000 or well over 1,000 here on YouTube, I think it's close to 2,000 now. And out of 1,000 or close to 1,000, I should say close to 1,000 on Twitter, it's the exact same result. You know, and the polls are open. You know, anybody who wants to go and vote for Ward, you can. Those polls are still open. They're going to be open for the next 5 to 6 days. But the results, oddly enough, were identical. Anybody who voted for Andre Ward as having the better resume over Canelo is in either the 7th percentile or the 9th percentile. They are greatly in the minority of people that feel that Andre Ward has a better resume than Canelo Alvarez. Now, myself, I didn't approach the situation anecdotally. I treated the resumes the same way I treat my pound for pound list. Okay, Canelo's a 4 division champion. He's a 2 division champion. Canelo Alvarez has beaten 8 active reigning world champions and taken their belts. Andre Ward has beaten 3 active reigning world champions and taken their belts. Canelo Alvarez did, in fact, make history in the super middleweight division, where Ward's body of work is most robust. Most of what Andre Ward did was in the super middleweight division, whereas Canelo Alvarez was only there very briefly. I think you can count on one hand how many fights Canelo had as a super middleweight. But Canelo Alvarez became undisputed. Ward did not. He made history in that division in far less time than it took Andre Ward to win 3 belts in that same division. And he's not done. He did all of this at age 31, whereas Andre Ward retired at age 32. So when I look at the list of names, the list of champions, for those of you that like to factor in current or former champions, that just expands on the body of work. For me, it's pretty clear who has the better resume. That's by the numbers. Now, anecdotally, which is what I noticed a lot of people tried to do. A lot of people tried to go the anecdotal route. Oh, they're impressed, or they feel, they think this was a better win, yada, yada, yada. Anecdotally, for those guys that wanted to go that route, well, that's what the people that voted did. The people that voted, they don't, they didn't do it the way that I did it, that I'm just going to stick to the facts by the numbers. No, I asked them a question. They gave me an answer. And anecdotally, whether I do the facts by the numbers or I look at the anecdotal approach, the result is the same, And I say this because it's like too many people are comfortable being illogical. I posted that poll on Twitter and a guy tells me, well, I'd pick Ward to win. Well, I don't give a shit who you'd pick to win because they're not going to fight. That means fuck all in real life that you'd pick a guy to win a fight that isn't going to happen. I'm asking about something that did happen. What's in their resumes? Because those are things that actually happened. If you sit here and tell me that you think that Canelo got a gift with Gennady Golovkin, I could tell you that Ward got a gift with Sergey Kovalev. If you sit here and tell me that you think Canelo drained Sergey Kovalev by fighting him at his weight, I could sit here and tell you that I think Ward drained Chad Dawson. Goes both ways, If you sit here and tell me that you're super impressed with how, Ward handled Mikhail Kessler or Carl Froch, I could tell you that I'm not impressed because I think that Cotto's better than the both of them. I know he's a Hall of Famer, and they're not, if we go the anecdotal route. Now, once again, I don't normally go the anecdotal route. I try to stick to the facts by the numbers because to me, that's a lot more simple. It's not open to interpretation if I just use the facts. And the facts is he's been a champion in 4 weight classes. He's only been a champion in 2 weight classes. He beat 8 active world champions and took their belts. He only beat 3 active world champions and took their belts. His opponents were ranked higher and have more career accolades than his opponents. And he made history in the same division where he did his best work because Ward wasn't at light heavyweight very long to begin with. And it's very conclusive to me. He might have drowned Chad, but Canelo Alvarez knocked out Sergey Kovalev. Like we can do that all day. If somebody sits here and tells me Canelo got a gift with Gennady, people say Ward got a gift with Kovalev. If somebody tells me Canelo drained Sergey Kovalev, okay, people say Ward drained Chad Dawson. He didn't fight him at his weight. Chad came down. And even if he agreed to come down, Sergey agreed to fight Canelo. You say that the turnaround was too quick for Kovalev to fight Canelo, but Canelo had a quick turnaround fighting all of these champions in the last 11 months. There are no excuses. And we're going to have a couple of conversations. This is what I mean. Matt Moore says that Kovalev was robbed. That was a horrible decision. And I respect your opinion, but this is what I mean. That if someone tells me, oh, Ward fought a prime Kovalev, yeah, but there are people that say that he robbed Kovalev. If you sit here and give me an anecdote about Canelo, I can sit here and give you an anecdote about Ward. It works both ways. And that's why I don't go the anecdotal route. 9 times out of 10, I don't go the anecdotal route. For this conversation, I decided to go both routes, factual and anecdotal. And when I do that, the result is the same. Canelo has the better resume. Now, I didn't think that that required as much time and attention, but like I said, there are people that are in the 9th percentile or the 7th percentile that think they're making a salient point by telling you how they feel. Oh, I'm sorry that I don't give a fuck how you feel. Do you know why I don't give a fuck how you feel? Because more people don't feel how you feel. So who's more important, the majority or the minority? Because that's how it works. If we're going to go the anecdotal route, which many guys like to go when the facts aren't working for them, when the facts of the matter don't stack up the way that they want them to, what do? They go anecdotal. Okay, let's go anecdotal. I got over 1,000 people that are telling me this guy's resume is better than his. If we want to be anecdotal, the facts are enough for me. I'm a facts guy. The facts are enough for me. But the facts, you don't like the facts, so you go anecdotal. Okay, go anecdotal. Anecdotally, more people think his resume is better than his. I was goody Leo, was goody Lennox, Jay St. Peter. You know what I mean? Like I try not to get caught up in those debates, but when I see something as simple as that, and it becomes what it became, you have guys edging fantasy fights like, dog, do you realize you don't know how you look to me doing that? That I ask you a conclusive and finite question and you can't answer it, you defer to fantasy. Because if you're telling, well, I would pick Ward to win the fight. Okay, that's a fucking fantasy because they're not going to fight. They are not going to fight. Ward is an analyst for ESPN. He is retired. They asked him if he wants to come out of retirement. He said no. So why are you telling me about a fantasy fight when I asked you whose resume is better? I do agree that Cotto is a much bigger scalp than Fratch and Kessler combined. Whenever it's convenient, people like to change the year marks of excellence. We know why Henry Armstrong was regarded as an excellent fighter, the same way we know why Sugar Ray Robinson was regarded as an excellent fighter, the same way we know why Manny Pacquiao was exalted as an excellent fighter, because these were fighters whose abilities made them champions at different weights. Not exclusive to that. It's not just moving up in weight and winning a trinket, winning a belt. These are guys that moved up in weight and they fought top guys. They fought top guys. Okay, well, Canelo did that more times than Ward did. What's the problem? Canelo didn't move up to super middleweight and fight Mario Cazares. He didn't move up to super middleweight and fight Caleb fucking Truax. He didn't move up to super middleweight and fight fucking, I don't know, Porky Medina. He beat the guys that had the belts and he did it very quickly. But to you that, oh, well, I'm not impressed. I know you're not impressed. I don't care if you're not impressed, but it's you being impressed is besides the point. The point is he did what Ward did not do in less time than Ward. Ward never did that. He didn't make history in that division. So if you don't factor that into the equation, you're not being objective. No way is Cotto a bigger scalp than Fratch and Kessler. See what I mean? Okay, Lennox, I'll ask you a question. Who's in the Hall of Fame right now? Fratch, Kessler, or Cotto? Because that's often been a year mark as far as resumes go. Who fought more Hall of Famers and pound for pound fighters, multi-weight champions? Who is a Hall of Fame inductee? Mikhail Kessler, Carl Fratch, or Miguel Cotto? I asked the question, Lennox. I'm just asking a question. It's happening. Everybody always asks that. Who fought more Hall of Famers? That's a common question when evaluating a resume. Who fought more Hall of Famers? And more importantly, what was the state of those guys when they fought them? Cotto wasn't a bum. Cotto wasn't, oh, Cotto's, no. Cotto wasn't washed up. He was a champion. Going into the Canelo fight, it was almost even money between Canelo and Cotto. Canelo was only a slight favorite from what I remember. He was only a slight favorite. A lot of people viewed that as a 50-50 fight. It's you know, like it's facts, you know? And it's look, it's interesting. It's an interesting conversation to have, but for me, it stops being fun when people can't be honest and they can't be objective because I don't care about feelings. The only feelings I care about are my own. The only opinions I care about are my own. The middle ground for us to converse and speak and share ideas is over the facts. If you don't like the facts, then we don't have a lot to talk about because I don't care about your opinion more than mine. Oh, I think Ward would beat him. They're not going to fight. So that doesn't matter if you tell me you think Ward would beat him. They're not going to fight. How many times somebody thought somebody was going to beat somebody and that didn't happen? Motherfuckers thought Teofimo was going to beat George. They thought Anthony Joshua was going to beat Ruiz. A bunch of idiots thought Wilder was going to knock out Tyson Fury. I think is not a rebuttal. It's not. And I find that many of these individuals do not engage in a real-time debate with me because they know how fucking stupid they're going to sound saying what they're saying. If the people on Twitter had the cojones to come on here and debate live in real time, where you can't use Google after every tweet, if they had the cojones to do that, they'd listen to themselves sound fucking stupid. Frach and Kessler are borderline halves at best. Cotto is first ballot. It's night and day. It really is, Napoli. It really is. And I thought it was a lot more simple. Does that mean I don't like Andre Ward? Believe it or not, I still like Andre Ward, even though he keeps shading Canelo Alvarez, but I still like him. He seems like a good guy. Is he still a very accomplished fighter? Of course he's an accomplished fighter. He was once pound for pound number one. Of course he is. But don't kid yourself. You don't have to like Canelo Alvarez the same way motherfuckers didn't have to like Floyd. At the end of the day, motherfuckers accomplished. It is what it is. Now, Emma, shout out to Emma. Emma asked me a question that I've been meaning to answer about, I think you said Katie Taylor, right, Emma? You wanted me to talk about Katie Taylor and how I guess you feel that people are trying to negate her influence over the sport. It's very simple. Follow the money. Follow the money. You don't make fighting Clarissa Shields what you make fighting Katie. You don't. You don't make fighting Amanda Serrano what you make fighting Katie. You don't you don't make fighting anyone what you make fighting Katie, to be honest with you. And that money doesn't grow from trees. That money doesn't fall from the sky. There is marquee value there. That's where the money comes from. Talk that shit, Jules. Wonder why no PBC or Mayweather representatives at the big event in Dubai for the digital future of boxing that Eddie, Usyk, and Crawford are at. And Natasha Jonas, who is fucking gorgeous. That woman is fucking gorgeous. I know the event. It's the I just saw pictures posted of it. Crawford is there. Natasha Jonas is there. Mavis Breedis is there. Sonny Edwards is there. It's a lot of people there. Shit, I wish I was there. Is being in the Hall of Fame subjective? Yes. There are tons of fighters who deserve to be there and are not, but vice versa. You know what's not subjective, Tone? That Cotto is there. Frach is not there. Kessler is not there. Chad Dawson is not there. Sergey Kovalev is not there. He's not. None of those guys are in the hall. That's not subjective. That's factual. Right now, Cotto is in the hall. They are not. So when you tell me, oh, you think that Kessler, for example, is a better win than Cotto, you have to make that make sense. You have to make that make sense to me because the data supports Cotto. It doesn't support Kessler. It doesn't support Frach. It supports Cotto. You talking about Sugar Shane, right? Honestly, I liked Ward. Ellerby crying on Twitter while Eddie making real moves. They must have said no time to buy Ponzi scheme promoters. Well, you know what I like that he did, Drew? He did the same sucker shit that we see on Twitter, that we see on Facebook, and that we see on YouTube. How you trying to say that your company is better than mine when you don't even want me to talk about all of my company? You saying Matchroom USA. Why gotta be Matchroom USA? Why can't just be Matchroom? I know why. Because Matchroom is global and you're not. That's why. Oh, you wanna stunt and flex on Matchroom USA. But if I just say Matchroom, who does shows in the UK, does shows in America, in Uzbekistan, in Italy, in Milan, in motherfucking Spain. Do you do shows in Spain? Do you do any shows abroad at all? Of course you wanted to keep the UK out of it because Tank don't do what Anthony Joshua does at the gate. Who the fuck are you trying to kid? Tank don't do what he do at the gate. And why you want to exclude Canelo Alvarez when at least 2 of the last 3 fights he had were matchroom shows? But you want to leave that out too. Leave out the UK, leave out Canelo also. Matter of fact, leave out the whole world except USA so that you can compete. Sucker shit. And you do that because Matchroom is global and you're not. But you want to stun about, oh, he do this at the gate. Man, you don't get the fuck out of here. Little known fact about Cotto, he's the only fighter to win 4 titles in 4 different divisions by knockout in his first attempt. I actually don't know, but I think he will be. I think he will be, but I'm not sure. Okay, for starters, you're saying you guys don't get it. Weight matters. Okay, I agree. Weight matters. That's why it matters that Canelo Alvarez, who fought as a welterweight, a junior middleweight, and a middleweight, went up there to super middleweight and beat a lot of guys that are bigger than him. Yes, weight matters. It does matter. Now, Ward was mostly a super middleweight, and he moved up once and he beat Sergey. Okay, Canelo moved up 3 times. Weight matters. That's the point I've been making. That weight matters. It matters that Canelo Alvarez moved up from welterweight because he used to campaign as a welterweight. He just never won a title there. Welterweight, super welterweight, or junior middleweight, middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. Yeah, that matters. That's what I've been saying. It matters. Eddie can get the Saudi billionaire on the phone to talk business ventures. Ellerby and Floyd can get who? Eddie and Dana White are contemporaries. Yo, TMT is not competing with UFC. You know what I mean? Like in terms of my competitor, no, it's not even close. How many shows has Mayweather Promotions done this year? How many? Why can't we do to TMT what TMT just did to Matchroom? Okay, if you want to leave out the Canelo Alvarez shows and you want to leave out the UK shows, hey, let's leave out the Javante Davis shows. Mayweather Promotions, what do you got? What do you got? Eddie does better numbers in his backyard. It's probably true. Triple G called out Frotch and Frotch ducked into retirement. TMT didn't stage fights on an island during the. I never seen the TMT do a fight on the Rock of Gibraltar. I never seen that. If Floyd got money like that, why he not the one that's doing fights in his backyard? He got money like that, right? Money, 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 green. Money, 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 team. Money, money, ever. I hate that fucking soliloquy rap. Ooh, I fucking hate that shit. Money, money, green. Money, 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 money. So how come Eddie doing fights in his backyard and you not? If it's money, money, green. Money, 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 team. He did beat Paulie Malignaggi. That's true. He did beat him. TMT didn't stage fight. All right, I read that one. You know what I'm saying? I really hate that soliloquy rap, by the way. That shit is so fucking annoying. It just is. You know what I mean? That's how these cats live. That's how these cats argue. And that is their view of the world. For me to compete with you, I have to impose a handicap on you. Let's not talk about your businesses and what you're doing, how you doing business in the UK, in Italy, in Spain, as far away as Uzbekistan. I have to put a handicap on you so that it'll be fair for me. Because that's what you're doing when you telling me, oh, don't count the Canelo shows, even though, yo, Matchroom promoted them fights, though. Matchroom promoted the motherfucking Callum Smith fight. Matchroom promoted the Avni Yildirim fight. Matchroom promoted the Billy Joe Saunders fight. It wasn't TMT. But when peep game. When the pay-per-view numbers came back good, who was Leonard Ellaby bigging up? Was he bigging up Canelo? No. He was bigging up Stefan Espinoza. But you won't big up Matchroom when it comes. You see what I mean? The bitch shit, the whole shit, the bullshit. The bullshit. It's hilarious to see these folks playing the oppression turn xenophobic when they see boxing change globally and their favorite promoter is inept. Yo, talk about it. Talk about it. They have every opportunity to support the fighters they like in the way that matters most. If you can't go to the fight, that's cool. Buy the pay-per-view. Who the fuck was stopping these cats from buying the Charlo pay-per-view? That's what I want to know. Who was stopping them? And don't tell me your pockets was light because them UFC pay-per-views was selling that same year. Last year. Them shits on Fight Island, them pay-per-views was moving. So don't give me that bullshit. If you really care so much about these guys that you sit on Twitter triggered, you sit on Twitter all day arguing, right? Why you not supporting them the way that matters most? Buy the pay-per-view. That's what matters most. Not tweets, not Facebook comments, or YouTube comments, or YouTube videos like the one I'm in now. That's not important. Buying the pay-per-view, that is important. And that's what the fuck these motherfuckers don't do. That's why I ask everybody for receipts. Don't tell me you care so fucking much and you can't find $80 fucking dollars to support your guy. If you ain't got $80 to support your guy, yo, listen, you got bigger problems than boxing. God's sake, I spend that motherfucking shit on water guns. I spend more than that on water guns. Can't wait TMT Boxing Live from Girl Collection. Shit. Canelo is a North American fighter at that. He is, though. He is. But don't talk to these motherfuckers about geography. Don't talk to them about geography. They can't tell the difference between motherfucking Wales and Manchester or some shit. Like they can't tell the difference, dog. Money, money, green. Money, 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 money. Where the money? Where the money? What did I tell y'all 6 days ago on my award-winning episode of The Relay? I suspect that the real reason Floyd has been attacking Canelo is because that money, if not all of it, some of it, came from him. Understand, Fox passed on the pay-per-view. Fox is a bigger network than Showtime. So you're telling me that Showtime is willing to take on a risk that Fox is not? Showtime is willing to bear the risks of a Canelo fight more than Fox, even though Fox has more money and they're a bigger network? Something is going on here. I got my receipts, Jay. Dewey has a link. I'm here to support Miguel. Give me a second. I'm monologuing. How do you explain Fox passes on a fight even though Fox has more than enough money to pay Canelo? What the fuck is $40 million to Fox? But they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to take the risk. Showtime takes the risk. Who has Floyd Mayweather Jr. had a great relationship with over the years? Fox or Showtime? You're wondering why this guy can't shut the fuck up about Canelo. You're wondering why you're hearing rumors that now there's a rift between Floyd and Al because I guess Floyd don't like what Al did with his money. And what I told y'all here a couple of days ago, y'all need to reevaluate what the real relationship of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Al Heyman is. You need to reevaluate that and give it another look. Why did Floyd go to Japan and why was PBC not involved with that entire situation? Do you remember when he went over there to fight Tenshin Nasukawa? Do you remember that it wasn't a PBC thing? Al Heyman wasn't involved. Showtime wasn't involved. Why would Floyd go all the way to Japan just for 9 million or whatever dollars? Bro, you made exponentially more with Conor. You made exponentially more with Manny. You made exponentially more with fucking Canelo. What do you need $9 million for? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, yes, when you see the shit and you like, well, if they're gonna give him nine, why not? No, I got nine. I can get my dick sucked all day today. Nine ain't enough to get me out of bed. I got nine. Nine. I'm gonna sit in bed all day and get blowjobs. You crazy? I think, Jay, that I don't a part of me feels that he's never had access to all his own money or that he bailed Heyman out and Heyman screwed the pooch. It could be one, could be the other. Because at the same time, the overhead on Floyd's lifestyle requires a lot of money. So it's hard to imagine that he can live that way off a stipend. But at the same time, he's obviously mad about something. And word round the campfire is that there's a rift between Al and Floyd. I dig it, pull check. That's what I mean, Virtuoso. He could find that on his fucking couch. 9 million. I'm gonna go in here and do all this bullshit for 9 million. Nah, bro, you wildin'. I ain't doing that. I'm gonna go and remember the Logan Paul fight originally was not gonna be on Showtime. And originally, Al Heyman wasn't involved. They tried to do it on what's that app? What's that app? For what's the fucking app it was gonna be on, man? Some weird sounding fucking app. What's the name of that app that the Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather fight was supposed to be, and they released the pay-per-view? No, not Triller. Fanmio. Jay, there you go. It was supposed to be on Fanmio. It wasn't part of a PBC, nothing. Showtime was not involved. It was Fanmio, right? And Fanmio put the pay-per-view out and they had premium pricing, meaning the sooner you get it, the cheaper it is. And they had it that way for a while and it got postponed due to a lack of interest. That's what the report said. The report said they're going to postpone it due to a lack of interest. After that lack of interest happens, where does it show up? On Showtime. I feel, and this is just my theory, that Floyd was trying to break away and make money that would not go to Al. Because I feel like a lot of his money is tied up with Al. And I feel when he went to Japan to fight Tenshin Nasukawa, that was for his pocket. Like, nah, Al ain't going to get none of this. And when he wanted to do the Logan Paul thing, same principle. Nah, Al ain't going to get none of this. Why do you think around that time you kept hearing Floyd say, remember when Jake Paul ran up on Floyd and he said, you want me to call Al Heyman? You ain't got to call Al Heyman. You ain't got to call Al Heyman. I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss. You good? You good? Why? You all right? Did that bother you? It felt like that bothered you. Floyd been acting funny since that video of him saying they paying fighters too much back in 2018 and the Waddle and Reed investors started suing Al. What if Floyd had to bail Al Heyman out with some of the money that he made? Or what if Al Heyman bailed himself out with some of the money that Floyd made? What if? Something is not right there. I'm a Capricorn. I know most of what can be known. Very powerful, right? And something's not right over there. Something's not right. I don't think he is. I think he moves like a 2-bit shyster. If you want my honest opinion, as far as hustlers and how hustlers move, you could game those network executives. You could game them white collars. You could game them, but you don't fool me. You don't fool me. What you're used to being is the smartest guy in the room in a room full of idiots. That's what I see. Yes, you're accustomed to being the smartest man in the room in a room full of simpletons. And that's how you get away with it. Oh, well, you see what I did for Floyd? Oh, yeah, you did do that for Floyd. They fall for that shit hook, line, and sinker. New Jersey Graper says if Canelo becomes undisputed at 175 pounds, where will he rank in history? I think he is the GOAT at that point. First boxer to do that in 2 divisions. That is certainly a year mark. Honest to God, it is. I don't know if it'll happen. It's very ambitious. I like to go by the saying, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I have time to evaluate that notion that, yo, what if this guy goes undisputed at 175 too? Need time to process that. That's why they not in Dubai. Yo, listen, Drew, you smart, bro. You smart. All the money getting motherfuckers go to Dubai, right? Why they ain't doing no business in Dubai? Jack by himself, not Mayweather Promotions. Badu Jack by himself, by way of his own promotional company, is doing business in Dubai. Why is Mayweather Promotions not doing fights in Dubai? Aside from Gervonta Davis, what does Mayweather Promotions have? Aside from him. Because it doesn't seem like they have a lot. Oh, well, you got Rolly. Now I'm going to open up the chat. Open up the motherfucking chat. Chat the shit. Because here at Ring IQ, yes, I talk a lot of shit, but it's true. And it's good for you. Shout out to Kaylee Reese. Rice. I mispronounce that shit all the time. Reese. That's how Regina Hall said it. I agree. There are more than one GOATs. All right. All right. All right. So yeah, man, I posted that shit. If your mic is fucked up, fix it. I posted that shit. A lot of motherfuckers got in their feelings about that shit. And I'm like, look, I thought this was an easy one. It's kind of easy to see that Canelo has a better resume. I think it is.
It's crystal clear to me.
And that's not a knock on Ward.
Not at all.
It isn't. It really isn't. But it's like Mike Tyson and Joe Louis. Mike is my guy. It's my guy. But Joe Louis has a better resume. It ain't hard. It's not hard. Julius Walsh is his real name. Ali Walsh. Yeah, I know. They only hyphenated the shit for marketing purposes. I didn't know he was Ali's grandson until this weekend.
Oh, really? I thought you was joking about that shit.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me that's Ali's grandson?
Yo, yeah. I didn't know, dog. I found out.
Bro, they've been keeping that so under the wraps, bro. I had no fucking clue.
Me neither.
Wait, you're telling me Davis is Floyd's bitch?
Yes. Look, this the shit, right? When Canelo Alvarez wanted to fight Lara, he was younger than Davis is now. He went against the grain to do what he wanted to do because he only fought that motherfucker because he wanted to fight that motherfucker. Davis is 27. And I think it was Bernardo Osuna who said it this weekend that, like, yo, dog, he's not a child. He has to put his foot down. At some point, you got to put your foot down. You either want these fights or you don't. And what I see is, bro, you don't want them shits.
Bro, 50K pay-per-views. 50K pay-per-views. Are you joking?
Listen, who the fuck wanted to see that fight? Did anybody in this panel want to see that fight?
You know,
Which fight?
No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he did 50K. I was like, fucking hell, them motherfuckers are stupid paying.
Which fight?
Davis versus Cruz or Davis versus Romero before it?
Either.
No to
Neither.
Davis versus Cruz. Yes to Davis versus Romero. But I can tell you why. I like seeing two people who eat lead paint fight each other. It always makes for entertainment.
The book bag fight. No! I'm gonna punch you, Davis.
Jay, I'm here for one purpose, okay? To whoever it was in the chat with that utter disrespect to Miguel Cotto, okay? And saying that Cotto isn't better than Froch or Kessler, right? Can I just do a little... Do you remember when people were saying, like, Fury was better than all of these heavyweights, like Ali and Tyson, and I went on a...
I remember.
You remember me going on that big stat run, right? And I think between 6 tweets, I got like 8,000 likes or something. Somebody's got an echo there. But let's just kind of put this into context, right? So Kessler is 10-3 in title fights, 6 title defenses against current or former champions, which is normally done by the Hall of Fame, current or former. He has 7 wins. He has 11 wins over top 10 rated opponent in ring magazines. He was a one-weight champion, and he's a 4-time world champion if you include regular. Otherwise, 3-time. Now, Carl Froch, he's 10-2 in title defense, in title fights. He has 7 title defenses, right? He's beaten 8 current or former champions. He has 11 wins over top 10 rated opponents. He's a one-way champion and a 2-time champion. Now, that would put their entire title record together at 20-5. Miguel Cotto on his own is a 4-weight champion who's 20-6 in title defenses, who beats them out in combined title defenses by 1 extra title defense. Out of them all, he's the only one who was ever lineal in a weight division. Yeah, it's kind of really one-sided. Really one-sided.
Look.
He's better on his own than them two combined, statistically.
I thought that was, like I said, I honestly thought when I put the poll up, I didn't feel that there would be backlash or bickering in the comments. I want to shout out Aaron Baker. He was particularly upset by it. He went the anecdotal route. So when you go the anecdotal route, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to show you what the poll says. Anecdotally, it's obvious whose resume is better. I went by the facts and the stats. That was not enough. Okay, let's go anecdotal because that's what you're doing to me. You're telling me you're impressed. Dog, I don't care what impresses you, dog. That is not a unit of measure. Oh, I was impressed. So what? Who gives a shit? Somebody else.
Yo, look at this retard in the chat though. Cotto is a 147. He's a 4-weight champion. 4 weights. Go and learn his record. Middleweight, junior middleweight, welterweight, junior welterweight.
Listen, before Canelo fought Cotto, everyone was just saying 50 is a 50-50 fight, or Canelo does have a chance, but Cotto, you never know. But then as you beat him, yeah, he's washed, he's gone. Mayweather beat him, he's nothing. I don't get these people. It's just always double standards.
So I'm the same way as you, that it might seem like it's normal, but it blows me away that going into that fight, I was real heavy in the Facebook boxing groups at that time, right? In 2015, real heavy in the Facebook boxing groups. People in several boxing groups that consists of thousands upon thousands of people, they were split. They could not decide who's going to win that fight. So that after the fight, immediately, and it was a competitive fight. That's the other thing. Anybody that saw that fight knows Cotto was not washed, bro. He gave a good fight. So
I had Canelo as a favorite, but like, you know, it would amaze me how Cotto was performing in that fight. He really closed the distance, man, on the scorecards.
Let's say this because this is anecdotal. Some portion of it is, but I'll say that Cotto at Super Cotto weight, because that's what that was. That was Super Cotto weight. That was 155. Cotto at Super Cotto weight was more competitive than the guys up there at super middleweight. It's a high caliber guy, high quality guy, and so we could call him washed up as soon as it's convenient. Fucking
By the way,
bullshit, man.
by the way, Julius, I got a question. Like, you know the Muhammad Ali and Tyson Fury comparisons. I don't understand how a guy who beats a limited heavyweight 2, arguably 3 times could be comparable to Muhammad Ali.
Well, you don't see my ass comparing them. You don't see me doing that shit because
that's
shit is
wild. That's wild.
You don't
That's
see
that
me
top
doing
rank
it
shit. Top rank compare all these fighters to Muhammad Ali for some reason.
Lomachenko to
because
Ali, Teofimo
because he's the
to
fucking
Ali.
GOAT. Because he's the fucking GOAT. But no matter how many times they do it, it don't, and it's never gonna stick. Like, bro, motherfucker come in here and fight Godzilla and Galactus at the same time. It's still not gonna work, bro. He still gotta fight Thanos. And after Thanos, he gotta fight Thor. Still.
Then he's got to fight. Then he's got to fight Kang the Conqueror and all that. So yeah,
all that shit.
Listen, Muhammad Ali is boxing. That's what he is. Muhammad Ali is boxing. End of.
I mean,
No
man
one is bigger than
the
boxing.
sport. He transcended the sport.
No one's bigger than boxing. Nobody's bigger. They're just a part of it. There's no Muhammad Ali. So I don't think many people would be interested in boxing. It's my opinion. So I don't know.
I'll say, look, they compared Lomachenko to Ali, right? Ruffled my feathers. Like, you don't need to bring up Ali to say that this guy has the best footwork that you've ever seen. And I know that you've seen Ali. I get that, Bob. I understand. But have some reverence. Have some reverence.
You know, he could have at least had Willie Pep, since he was old enough to see them.
Yeah. Gave Willie his just due by not mentioning him. Did y'all know that Ali got a grandson who's a boxer? Really? Standing eight. What's his name? What's the guy's name?
I think his name is
Nico Ali Walsh.
Balz?
Nico Ali Walsh. That's Nico Ali Walsh. That's what they call him.
Wow.
He was about to be washed.
Yeah.
Yo, he was about
He
to
lost.
Yo,
He lost that last
He
fight.
almost got washed.
yo, he did. Like, you better slow down, Nico.
Sorry.
Do y'all see him being on top rank much longer or nah?
Well, I mean, bro, you know what the shit is? It's like, it's already a fucked up move because y'all should have looked at him, right? Look at him, bro. We can't do this. Like, I'd have looked at him like, bro, listen, I know you Ali grandson, and that shit is real cool. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. It's cool. But we're not gonna go this route. You are Nico Walsh.
Right, motherfucker like B-Rad.
I ain't mad at him because that's really his blood. So I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna be disrespectful. Yes, you are in the lineage, but I cannot keep overemphasizing Ali because when you get your motherfucking ass beat, I don't want people to think of Ali. And at some point, you are gonna get your motherfucking ass beat. It's gonna happen. It is going to happen.
Julius, you know who he is. He's pretty much an American Campbell Hatton.
Nah,
because at least Campbell looks like
don't
Ricky.
say that.
At least Campbell looks, bro.
Just the way they fight. I mean, just the progress.
If you squint, tell me you don't see Ricky Hatton. At least Campbell looked like the motherfucker. Like,
no,
bro,
I'm saying fighting wise, like just fighting wise. That's all. Like just.
He looked like busy, and I'm gonna say about it, and I'm gonna say about it.
Bro, I was gonna say he looks nothing like Muhammad Ali. There's no resemblance at all.
He looked like Busy Bone, and I'm gonna stand by.
That ruined the bloodline, man. That's why the skills didn't transfer.
I can't say I seen his numbers on the fight. Like, he do get like attraction. I think that's because of the Ali name. And with that, I think they're gonna try to use him like PBC used Tank. Like, don't put him in no competitive fights. Just like let him bring attraction to the card.
He gonna be Butterbean, bro. He the new Butterbean. Like, Butterbean is the king of, what was it, 4-rounders? Butterbean the king of those. Like, he gonna be like, and I ain't trying to hold him. Like, look, all shit aside, if you got ambition, God bless you and your journey and all of that. I ain't even gonna try to knock you. But
matter of fact, did y'all see Butterbean's first loss in that fight? He lost to a guy named Mitchell Rose. And this was a dude who just schooled his ass. It was hilarious. I mean, like
I heard Butterbean testified in court in Canada that his fights wasn't even real. I heard that shit. Yes, bro. Look it up.
Oh shit! I got to do that. Oh yeah, man. Oh damn.
I heard he testified in court that motherfuckers was taking dives, bro. Dive City, B. And I'm like, yeah, I could see that, man.
You just told me Jake Paul's future right now.
I mean, look, the shit is Jake is a Capricorn. So I believe he might be really fighting these motherfuckers, B, because he a Capricorn. He got the spirit.
Here we go again.
He got
Put the cap in Capricorn.
the fucking spirit of the warrior, yo.
Julius, you seen fighting a real boxer after the Woodley rematch? You seen taking a step up after that?
Yeah. Because for Jake, the bar is very low, bro. The bar is low. He could fight a fucking club fighter, and it'll be like, yo, but he fought. Because everybody shit is like, I feel like he's been vindicated because he ain't the one that pulled out the fight.
That's true.
He was gonna do it. Like, he was with it. Like, yeah, all right, Tommy, let's shoot
Bro,
the shit.
he started boxing 2016. Come on, against YouTubers.
Bro, I'm proud.
And sold more pay-per-views than I think not Devin Haney. Devin Haney and Davis combined.
I'm proud of him. You not proud of him?
Yeah, man, he's got the hustle down to a T, man. He's got that mastered.
Look, I ain't
knocking the hustle.
Look, this is what, not all jokes aside, all fuckery aside, right? This is why I don't flip out on Jake or whatever, or I'm not, like all negative. You basically had beef with another YouTuber and you decided to fight him in the ring. Now that's dope. Go ahead, do that. That's better than shooting it out. That's better than going to jail. That's that's how like he had beef with the dude, the Instant Gibb dude, and they hashed the shit out. That's like, it's right.
Let me tell you the story behind YouTube because I'm fairly into that and I watch. Do you know the guy YouTuber called KSI, musician and part of Sideman?
I know.
So KSI was meant to box Jake Paul, but obviously KSI is a good musician. He's focused on music, YouTube, and he has his own stuff to do. And Jake was just left there, and he wasn't doing YouTube, nothing. So he put his full focus onto boxing, and now look where he's at after a couple of years, after 3 years. He's doing his best. He's selling out shows.
Who KSI, right?
No, Jake Paul. I'm talking about Jake Paul.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm not like. Look, he do a lot of stupid shit, and I don't like to spend a lot of time on like you see that I haven't even talked about that shit really on none of the relays. I'm like, bro, am I really going to sit here for 7 minutes, 7-minute segment, 6-minute segment about Jake and Tommy pulling out because his chest hurt? Like, I don't care about that shit, bro. Like, I just don't care about that shit. But if I look at it for real, now what he did wasn't wrong. He had beef with the dude, and he fought him in the ring, and he felt that he liked it, so he gonna keep doing it. Can't get mad at that. You got motherfuckers that won't. You got motherfuckers. Hold on. You got motherfuckers that won't jump on this chat to debate me. They'll hide on Twitter. They won't debate me.
Yeah, like Lennox.
And they're talking shit about Jake Paul.
Yeah. And these is the same that I tell them, yo, I'll shoot you a link. Come debate me. You could embarrass me in front of 265,000 people. I mean, 265. And there's playback. 2,000 people gonna play it back. So bring it. I'm
Julius,
easy work. Go ahead, Leo.
I wanted to talk about the Tyson Fury and Muhammad Ali comparison.
Okay.
I'm not really mad about it, but can we view the comparison after Tyson Fury does something similar to Ali? I mean, Can you fight a top contender? Can you defend the title against someone you are not really already beat? Can you unify against, because there are more titles now? Can you do something like that? And then can we compare the careers? Maybe.
I mean, yeah.
Dylan White would be a good start.
But this the thing. This the thing, man. And we all know Ali, so you don't need me to give you a history lesson. We all know, things about Ali that made him great inside and outside the ring. The thing with Tyson is, and Tyson don't need to be like Ali to be great. He just need to be like Tyson. Like, no, you Tyson Fury, and that's good enough, right? But it's your bullshit. Now, if you go in there, you knock out Dillian White, right? If you knock him out, if you do that, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's what you need to do. Stop being inconsistent. Because you said after Wilder, White is next. So stick to your word, be a man of your word, take him out. Because Wilder didn't want to know. And we all know that. Wilder did not want to know.
Why is that?
If he's such a fucking bum, and he's such a crash test dummy, then take him out. Shut him up. Because the only reason he talking is because you ain't shut him up.
Yeah.
Ain't complicated.
Let me just say, you cannot compare Tyson Fury to Muhammad Ali because Tyson Fury hasn't done nothing to be compared with Muhammad Ali. He only had 2 good fights, according to Market, 3 good fights. Klitschko and Deontay Wilder twice. That's it.
The Chisora
Get
fight
in
was good.
yeah. No, Chisora
That's
fight.
it.
I'm just saying lately. What you done for me lately?
True.
Be a bigger Muhammad Ali. He wasn't a liar. He didn't waffle his asshole and just talk shit for the sake of talking. He said it and he done it. Simple as. Tyson Fury is nowhere near Muhammad Ali. You can't compare anyone to Muhammad Ali.
And he was
Simple.
a Capricorn. He was a Capricorn. Like
breaking news. Breaking news. I heard something. Julius is a Capricorn.
That's true. I also heard that Muhammad Ali had a grandson. I don't know if y'all heard about this kid.
Nah.
Are you sure? Jules, I swear I thought you was playing about that.
No, because like ESPN, it's like they have no situational awareness. They're like, yo, dog, y'all been telling us this is Ali's grandson. It feels like for years. And we know, I know that he debuted this year, but it feels like they've been saying that shit for like, yo, can you stop telling me that that's his grandson? Just stop. Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, like the guy he just lost to only boxed part-time.
I got a hot take, though.
That's his Olympic gold medal. Being Muhammad Ali's grandson, that's his Olympic gold medal.
My hot take is,
so obviously, when
Cotto
you get
ain't
into
no
the ring,
first ballot
everybody
Hall of
says.
Famer.
Really?
I mean, he
How
beat
the
2
fuck did
guys
Andre
on
Ward
bum
become a
legs
first
for
ballot Hall of
championships.
Famer?
I could write the
Go
story
ahead,
of boxing
keep
without ever mentioning Miguel Cotto.
Well, just remember, when you take away from Cotto, you take away from Canelo. That's one of his better wins. I mean, to me, that's one of his better wins because I remember I'm not a convenient guy and I hate convenient shit. I remember everybody wanted to see that fight. I remember everybody wanted to see that fight. That's the first thing. I remember nobody could decide like, yo, Canelo's overrated, but Cotto's little and old. I don't know. Like, well, at least not old, but he is older than Canelo. He was 35. I remember. No, wait. Don't let. Wait.
I get that.
I remember.
Argument.
Wait. I'm not done. The bookies, never mind what people on the street thought. The bookies had the damn fight damn near priced at even money. So when I hear that, oh, Cotto is this, Cotto is that, I'm like, yo, you do realize that Cotto's, not only was he one of Canelo's best wins, but going into that fight, it was almost even money. He wasn't, over the hill. No. That's not what people were saying in the buildup. That's what people started saying afterwards when it was convenient, because even in the fight was competitive. It wasn't one-way traffic. No. That fight was competitive. And never mind hating ass Marquez that said that he scored the fight for Cotto. We know you did. We know you did.
Hey, Jules, can you elaborate on something about that fight right quick? So the Cotto had the belt going in, right? But did he not pay fees to the WBC or something?
Yeah, that's right. He did the slick shit. What he did was he knew that the winner of the fight would have to fight Golovkin. So in a nutshell, he kind of vacated it preemptively by not paying the sanctioning fees, so that even if he won, he doesn't have to fight Golovkin afterwards.
Got it. So, but the belt was still on the line for Canelo, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Canelo was the only one that could have won it.
Got it. Okay.
And low key, he jerked Triple G, because I remember reading afterwards that I think he didn't give him a portion of the step aside, or just some funny ass shit like that. I was like, wow, Cotto's a slick motherfucker, but I ain't mad at that. Like,
bro, that was his retirement check. Well, he ain't gonna split it with anyone.
No, I mean, shit. Look. The shit was.
That was a bad time for Triple G, man.
You knew that, like, yo, dog, if you put Cotto in there with this motherfucker, Golovkin will kill this motherfucker, bro. If you thought it was bad when Margarito beat the shit out this motherfucker, let Triple G fight him.
I thought that same thing. I was like, dude, he'll kill him. Same with Sergio. And Lou DiBella felt the same way. He said, ain't no way I'm putting Sergio in with that animal.
That's exactly what he said verbatim. He said, I'm not putting him in there with that animal.
Look, the Cotto fight against Canelo, was competitive enough that look at these young champions that have been fighting Canelo. They
Look at that shit.
They look regular in comparison to Canelo. I mean, with Cotto.
Es la verdad, es la verdad. Pelea bien el tipo, sea lo que sea, que perdió, que he's too fucking cool with that dude and they be doing weird shit. Está bien, pero que el tipo sabe pelear. Sí, ese tipo sabe pelear, man. Pelea bellísimo el tipo. Que...
Okay, what's Cotto's best win?
It's a good point. It's a good point.
What's Cotto's best win against the Hall of Famer? What's Cotto's best win against a prime guy or a guy where he's the underdog?
It's a good point. It's a good point. So you are gonna go down. No. I ain't gonna say that. So you're gonna go down the route because if you disparage Cotto, you disparage Canelo. That's all I'm telling you. The one thing that Canelo Alvarez can lord over a lot of guys is that he has the name of Miguel Cotto, a Hall of Fame inductee, in his resume. If you start shitting on it, don't get mad when people say Ward has a better resume than he does.
Yes, but right now, if you take Cotto off Canelo's resume, is Canelo still a Hall of Famer?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Based on the undisputed.
No. I don't do the anecdotal. I already told you that. I don't do.
Okay, no. What I'm saying is,
I'm telling you right now, with the name of Miguel Cotto, he has a Hall of Fame inductee in his resume. Ward don't have that.
No,
now
you're
maybe right. maybe one day, Triple G will be a Hall of Fame inductee. Maybe one day, but at this time, what Canelo has on a lot of guys is he has Cotto on his resume. Now, if you want to shit on Cotto, then don't get mad when they get anecdotal with you and start shitting on Canelo with Ward.
Oh, absolutely. No. When I'm speaking specifically the criteria of the Hall of Fame. Canelo, can we say Canelo has a Hall of Fame resume without Cotto right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, without Cotto. Yes.
See, this is the thing. This is why I don't do that. Is Canelo in the Hall of Fame? No. So that's anecdotal. I don't do that. I stick to the facts because the facts are easier and you can't get around them. Canelo beat a Hall of Famer. Ward did not. Now, when I say that, it makes a lot of people upset because they know you can't rebuttal me, bro. He beat a fucking Hall of... Did Andre Ward beat a Hall of Famer? No!
It's a damn shame because Kovalev in 2016 looked like he was on his way to being a fucking all-time great light heavyweight.
It depends. It depends. You know why it depends? Kovalev is not a multi-weight champion. That's the first thing. His claim to fame is that he was a unified champion at light heavyweight, but he only held as many alphabet titles as Jermell has now. Is Jermell a Hall of Famer? No. So was Kovalev on the way to being a Hall of Famer? Really? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe Beterbiev would have got his hands on him and whooped his motherfucking ass.
Didn't Beterbiev like turn down that fight or something like early in his career?
Yeah, but
I'll deal with the people shitting on Canelo.
We're not gonna do the Cotto hate thing, bro. You're gonna have to do that on Twitter. I'm telling you, I'm not. You know why you're not gonna do that here? You know why you're not gonna do that here? Because I use that as a strong rebuttal for all these anecdotal guys. If I entertain you, then I have to entertain them, and I'm not gonna do that. It's simple. Beating a Hall of Famer has always been better than not beating a Hall of Famer. Always. That has always been a unit of measure in boxing. How many Hoffers did he beat? If I all of a sudden make it convenient and start shitting on it, well, that's going to open the door for a lot of people to say a lot of shit that I don't want to listen to. Like
see
that
what he's doing, y'all. I love it.
Listen, Andre Ward was too young. We can all say Andre Ward was too young and he was in his prime that he left. Why did he leave?
We can't
was
give
he
Andre
scared
Ward.
of getting beat?
You know why we can't say that,
Ward
bro?
wasted his prime trying to fucking sue his...
Marciano retired at 32, but he's in the Hall, so we really can't say that it was that Ward was too young. It's that, your resume is thin. Like, compared to other people, I would say, yeah, your resume is thin, bro. It is though. It's not like it's
And
not.
we have to be honest. Andre Ward wasted his prime by fucking suing his promoter and losing in court, and his promoter fucking put him on the shelf to teach him a lesson, and the promoter died, and the family's like, okay, this is the price to buy out your contract, and that's what happened.
I'm gonna say this: Cotto retired at what, 37? Manny retired at 42. Floyd retired at what was it, 30? Hey, how old was Floyd when he retired? 37?
38, 39.
Ward retired at 32, bro. You was one belt away from undisputed at motherfucking light heavyweight. And I said it then. I'm like, yo, it feel like he leaving mad shit on the table. Like, I don't expect you to go to cruiserweight. Because you don't.
My question is, why didn't he do it?
I don't know. I think he don't want to go.
What was the reason?
Probably
he
didn't want to get beat.
Yo, my honest
too much
opinion,
pressure?
My honest opinion, Sawab, I don't think he wanted to travel because I think about that situation, right? Remember, Adonis Stevenson, it was a bit of a draw in Canada. Yes, he was. He was with Yvonne Michelle and the PBC at the same time. Andre Ward was never a big marquee fighter. Those 2 pay-per-views with Kovalev didn't sell nothing. So I'm like, if he goes up to Adonis Stevenson, is he the A-side? Is he really?
Problem with Ward
and I'm from the
Did
Oakland
they negotiate
area.
the fight?
I'm from the
There's
Oakland
something
area.
called negotiation. Did they do it?
They didn't even try.
Ward refused to travel for Butte. He didn't even want to go fight Butte.
That's my point, Drew. If you
didn't
want to travel for Butte, why would you want to travel for Stevenson?
And at Butte's height, Butte was a bigger draw than Stevenson.
Hey guys, one question: How many titles did Ward have at super middleweight? Just 2 or 3? Did he just have 2?
3. He had 3.
And and Butte had the last one, right? So all he had to do was fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he'd have beat Butte, man, if he traveled to Canada. Seriously,
Then negotiate. All you have to do is negotiate. Let it go to press bids, and then
no, he didn't want it. He didn't even want the COVID shot. That's why he's fucking calling fights from the fucking house.
Listen. I've always felt that way. That if he would have took the fight, he would have been undisputed. He would have made history because I would have picked him to beat Butte. I would have
by points or by knockout, either one.
and even Stevenson.
Wait a second. Wait. Ward only held the WBC and WBA, right? When he beat Froch at super middleweight.
I don't remember.
Oh, we're talking
if
about light
held
heavyweight
the
when he had 3 belts.
Did he hold the WBO?
That's why I was asking. Did he just have 2 or 3 titles in super middle?
He didn't hold the WBO.
How's it going?
He only
Mark,
WBC and WBA.
When Ward was at super middleweight, he didn't hold the WBO title there, did he?
He did.
He did?
Oh,
It was a vacant, right?
Yeah.
Who did he win that from? Who did he be? It was vacant?
He didn't have the IBF. He didn't have the
he didn't have the IBF.
No, it was Butte who had the IBF. He was 1 belt away from being
Okay,
I'm trying to remember.
Jules in the panel. Based on what we're seeing lately,
I'm looking on BoxRec right now.
And based on what Jules has been saying about TMT and Ellerbe, do you see them as a viable player in 10 years?
No, I don't see them as a viable player now. They're a subsidy.
And
they're a subsidy. They fall under the PBC umbrella. They're not even their own company.
Do you? That's what to my point was. You see the bitterness that they have no boxing clout in the global market. They have no talent development. They have no blue chip prospects willing to go with them. And the realization that all Floyd has is a name, really, and he's not even a respected promoter because they don't promote no events.
I'm gonna put it another way, Drew.
Can I correct myself just real quick? He only had 2 belts. Stieglitz held the WBO and Butte held the IBF.
Stieglitz, my German brother.
Stieglitz. Yeah. Stieglitz had the WBO at the time.
9. Let me tell you this. Floyd is a figurehead. He's a figurehead. You think that dude is sitting there reading papers and pushing papers and shit? No, bro. This whole I'm a business. If whenever I hear dudes say something like that, I hear that's what you ain't. Smart investments. What's smart investment? What are they? Why you don't got a master class like Chef Ramsay? You can have a master class of smart investments or master class of boxing.
He doesn't reveal them, Julius, because that would be cheating according to him. I'd be giving away his secrets.
Yo, listen. The funny shit is that if he has more startup money to start up a successful business from the ground up without having to go to nobody for money. And I bet you he just blew that shit on dumb shit.
Bro.
That's what motherfuckers do.
You know why he's not sharing his knowledge? Because he doesn't want to give his shine to anybody else. He doesn't like other people succeeding the way he did. All he can say, I had the biggest pay-per-view ever.
Like Jules is right. It's all bullshit.
When
Nas invested in the Ring startup, and then it got sold for billions of dollars to Amazon, and they like Nas made $100 million off his investment. You don't hear nothing like that about Floyd because it's starting to look like he don't have access to go give somebody $10 million for an investment.
Look at 50, right? Look at 50. I don't see 50 doing rapper shit no more, meaning that he don't talk about
businessman.
That's what now hold on. He don't talk like he talk business. He talk business, all right? Not stupid shit. Not my garage. Nah, he talk business like yo, I got a show coming out, got the Leche Minduroy, got the motherfucking script I'm writing. That's what you hear. Jay-Z.
He ain't in the club.
That's what you hear. All business shit from Jay-Z. Boardroom meetings, all business shit. Floyd, what I see is that you have not grown from this boxing shit because I still see you in this boxing shit. If you really grew from that, Leonard, he'll make the shit grow. Not that he did because he didn't. You got a whole string of amateurs that came out of the Olympics. You didn't sign one of them. You didn't sign one, not one, not a girl, not a guy, not a nothing.
2 Olympics in a row.
You know what's crazy, Jules? You see the realization of that future coming where he don't got shit.
Possibly.
And he's angry. I'm not even saying he won't have money, but Floyd, you've been lapped by these other promoters worldwide. Like you're not a fixture in boxing anymore other than your name. You have no leverage.
The only value that Floyd has is selling his undefeated record.
Imagine losing the opportunity in terms of promotion to a kid who's been fighting in your gym with your dad and training with your dad for 15 fucking years to an Englishman with an app.
Talk about it.
Hey, we don't slander Eddie Hearn over here.
But no, it's not slandering Eddie Hearn. It's just it's literally contextualized in Floyd's situation. Think about it. Haney was in his gym since he was in diapers, pretty much. And then all of a sudden, a dude who hasn't done anything in the US market at that time comes over and he's like, I'll go with him instead of with you. That tells you how bad you are. If you're being around that gym for 15 years of your life and you'll just instantly go to a startup, come on.
Mark, hold on, Mark, peep the shit though. It ain't just Devin, Shakur too. If you look at the young, fresh fighters that came out of the last couple of Olympic Games, which one of the young, fresh, blue chip prospects went to fucking Mayweather Promotions? Which one? Which one went to the PBC? Which one went to the PBC in general? I see all the young, fresh, and fly and ready to die fighters. They all go to Top Rank.
Even the Cubans.
They all go to Top Rank.
Yeah, even Rebesi Ramirez went to Top Rank.
Yo, I hate that dude's name, B. Robisi. It remind me of rotisserie chicken. It make me hungry. When I hear Robisi, I think rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, what's up with all of these Cuban men having Puerto Rican female names?
What do y'all think of the Olympics getting rid of the boxing and how that affects the program?
I think Aiba screwed the pooch, and boxing as a sport is really gonna suffer. If I hope that something happens because I saw that this morning and I got nervous. Like, yo, dog, we ain't gonna have no amateurs coming out. No
LA.
I'm actually furious about that, man. Because first of all, of course, it's fucking America. Who'll be the ones who'll pull the plug on it in place of skateboarding, right?
Oh my god!
I understand that part.
What the fuck?
We will see that. My thing is, we'll see a bunch of guys that will turn pro a little sooner.
I guess, but it's not the same as having that. I feel, in other words.
No, I agree.
I feel, in other words, that look, boxing as a sport will suffer from that. It will suffer from that. Fighters that don't have that deep amateur background, that pedigree, they'll suffer from that.
Is that because Iba fucked up? That's why they pulling the plug.
Honestly, yeah, it's because of corruption. It's because
there's currently with IBA, I believe there has been 14 investigations into the last 3 World Championships and 2 Olympic Games before Tokyo.
Which organization is responsible for staffing judges? AIBA or the IOC?
IBA.
IBA. Okay.
Is there
IBA.
any,
It was
is
the
there any
IOC.
chance, is there any chance that they go back on that decision, though, Mark? Is there any way that it can be, I don't know, reconciled? Just any way?
Based off of what I know about everything to do with the corruption in IBA, not a snowball's chance in hell. Not for 2028. Not for 2028. No way. Because the only way you'd be able to do that would be to completely reform IBA, and then within a 4-year same period, because they'll still be there for 2024, be able to show validity that there is no corruption within a boxing match, which scorecards are subjective anyway. They won't be able to achieve that.
Now, Mark, is there any chance they say it's gone from 24 to?
No, it won't be gone from 2024. It's already booked in.
It's the LA games that they're not going to have.
It's the LA games.
It had to be fucking
2028.
LA, and I live in LA. Fucking horseshit.
But look,
Let's
get back to this Mayweather promotion slander. Let's get back to this libel.
Go back to what you were saying, Jules. Yeah.
Now listen, ain't no motherfucking self-respecting businessman gonna be sitting on Twitter arguing with motherfuckers, right? Because the motherfuckers say you sold 50,000, you really gonna argue in front of all these people? Seriously? If you think about it, Drew, think about it. What impresario? What mogul? What man of industry is gonna sit on Twitter? You lying motherfucker! You always.
I only know one, and it's when he's trolling everybody about his success, and it's Elon Musk. But that's him talking shit to the dumb politicians.
Yeah,
and
but
the scavengers.
It's not his personal.
That's the only titan of industry I can see on Twitter. He don't go back and forth with his consumers, but he talks shit to the fucking establishment.
But Elon Musk is talking to politicians, and is not talking about.
That's the only one I can.
A fucking guy will work in Starbucks.
He's got his money from a South African mining business.
Listen. Look, I'm a special.
I can't knock. I can't knock anybody.
Wait. Listen. I'm a very important person in the universe, but Leonard don't know that. The other day he retweeted me because I said some slick shit. I'm like, bro, if you get to the point where you retweeting Jules from Harlem, you struggling, bro. You struggling. I can feel it. It's hard out here, B. You shouldn't be retweeting shit I say. I'm trying to get a rise out of you. You press.
Have the numbers
that 30 for 30 on PBC is going to be fire, though. That 30 for 30 movie and where all the money went, all these fighters that don't have no money, Al Haymon leaving.
Fat Arrow going to be there wearing an eye patch like Slick Rick.
Arrow coming out with his lover eventually. It's all going to be great.
Terrence Crawford's going to be on camera saying, and I took that personally.
Yeah. And I took
the numbers even been released yet? I mean, have they been released yet?
But Jay, that's how you know, bro. That's how you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you
how quick did they have those Canelo numbers, Jules?
Listen, how quick did they have the Spence verse? Mike Copinger couldn't fucking wait to put a set of numbers out there, bro. On Tuesday, the pay-per-view was on Saturday, and on Tuesday he had numbers. Yo, the Tank fight, wasn't that like 2 weeks ago? Has it been a week or 2 weeks?
It's almost 2 weeks.
We got some breaking news from Terrence Crawford. Apparently, Errol Spence said he called him, and then Terrence just tweeted, "Stop lying! You didn't call me." He said it makes you look bad when you lie to the people.
Seriously?
Let me read the super chats they're piling up. Michelle Rivera, the Dominican kid, looks more like Muhammad Ali than Nico does. That's actually true. He really does look
that
like
lightweight, right? Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm. He do look like his silhouette look like him. He don't look like him facially.
But at least he got the trunks right.
He do got the trunks. He got the tube socks too. Deed says, I think Better Beef is gonna shatter Brown late, probably. I think that it's hard to say that Better Beef is in decline off of Dionese because Dionese was his first fight in a minute and he had a broken rib. And I think he had COVID. So it's like, well, he's not going to look 100 with Dionese. So let's see how he look against Marcus Brown. Troll Master Mike says, Cotto is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I know. He got inducted already last week. Let me see who else. Willie Lynch says, so are we looking at a new generation of Hopkins and Whites? Man, I feel bad for the amateurs. I feel bad for their ass too. Jacob Sims says they haven't made their final decision yet. They're basically telling Aiba to show you that you've cleaned up their act. They're getting kicked out by 28. Yo, they better clean up their act, B. They better do what the WBA did and order Leo Santa Cruz to get motherfucking Al Heyman dick out his mouth and fight somebody.
Fuck that. They need to strip his ass.
I can't wait till they ask Ellerby, will you take that 90-10 split?
Yo, listen, it's all egos with them, bro, because they know they look, not that I care about Davis's bank account because I don't, but they know that there's money out there for Davis, and they literally stopping him from getting at that money because of their ego. It's all ego, like, bro.
It's all ego. And like you said, Jules, they trying to market the PBC fighters like they're rappers with gold chains.
Yes.
Because Heyman's a music guy. All that shit's rented. All that shit's not real.
Like, motherfuckers don't
and
realize.
And Heyman controls the money.
That video.
That ego is going to make them homeless.
That music culture, that music video culture, because it became a culture almost, the things that you see in a music video, and people in the street tried to mimic that, not realizing, yo, all these rappers and shit, these is not killers, bro. You do not move no fucking coke and then talk about it on a song so that the feds could be up your fucking asshole with a flashlight. The fuck, like you believe these guys? Like,
I mean, with the way Danny Garcia was dressed ringside, I thought he went double platinum. You know, he gave me that impression.
That's music video.
You heard
culture,
about
bro.
You heard about Tank? You heard about on Twitter? Like I saw on Twitter, like Tank is in a hole for over $200K. He owes some jeweler.
Oh, I've been knew that. And he owed $40,000.
I mean, how insecure you got to be to tell him you can't wear Canelo's gloves? Fuck that.
Because I'll tell you why. Because
did he really say that?
No, he did though. He did do that. That really happened. Tank was gonna go out there with the no boxing, no life gloves, yo. Because Canelo, look, this is the funny shit. And somebody else on the panel said this, and it's true. He's fucking up the network with Canelo and Tank because they asked Canelo, yo, who's your favorite fighters to watch? To my chagrin, he said Tank. And I know Tank felt good hearing that come. Like, don't front. That shit felt good hearing that from the motherfucking cash cow of boxing. From the motherfucking man who fight on the zone, who fight on PBC. That shit felt good, yo. Keep it real. Now, if Canelo, the cash cow of boxing, is saying good things about your fighter, why you want to fuck that up? They could be cool. Shit, maybe Canelo will let him fight on his undercard. You gonna fuck that up because of your fucking ego. You not no businessman, because if you was a businessman, you would know that. Why I'm gonna fuck that relationship up? If anything, if Canelo getting money right now, he the it right now, what's good, my man? How you been? You good? Let's do some business.
They even, like I put to that video, Drew, they even got the LDBC turning on them, and it's hilarious. I'm fucking dying.
Listen, all them dudes are slow because they're just now like, and I'm not saying that. Look. I gotta be on camera for this. You gotta be on camera for this. Wait, because I'm trying to.
You ready for your close up, Mr. DeMille?
Listen. These cats always talking about how they gonna put somebody up on game, right? That's I'm like, yo, a lot of y'all cats is wild to me, right? I knew what Heyman game was a minute ago. He gaming network executives out of budgets, and he's promising them exclusivity without his fighters benefiting from it. You do not present yourself as a promoter because you can't. If you do, you're in violation of the Muhammad Ali Act. You present yourself as a manager that has a lot of contracts on a lot of fighters. Because you're not presenting yourself as a promoter, you cannot on paper be like, yeah, I'll make sure that my guys don't cross the street. Nah, you can't do that. You'll be in violation of the Muhammad Ali Act. But you're promising these networks exclusivity for these fighters at the expense of these fighters. If Luis Ortiz can get $8 million on the zone, you have a fiduciary duty to let him go get it. It is your fiduciary duty to operate on his behalf, not yours, not Fox's, and not Showtime's. But I know. Y'all told him, nah, chill, we gonna let you fight Wilder. If you didn't tell him, because it doesn't look like they told him, or his trainer, It looks like they told his manager, like, yo, kill that shit. I heard you talking to Eddie Hearn, kill that shit. Because he's fighting Wilder on pay-per-view. Kill that shit.
Yep. Julius,
then his trainer literally beg and plead to like his trainer admitted that they fucked up and they really wanted to fight after.
Yeah, they
not
did.
The
it was
trainer,
all
not
over
the
the
trainer,
ring.
the manager, not the trainer. The trainer was not the trainer, the manager. The trainer said, "I don't understand." The trainer, if you listen to what the trainer said, right, you see how it went down. They're like, "Oh, so y'all ain't tell these cats everything. Y'all kept them in the dark, not knowing what's really going on right there." He was like, "Yo, if we would have known, we would have took that money. We would have took that. We would have agreed to that." I'm like, I know y'all would have agreed to that. They don't tell y'all what's there. And you started hearing Eddie Hearn saying, yo, I don't think these guys know. After that, Charlo's getting offers, or they're making offers for Charlo. He starts the Gervonta Davis shit. Name me a price. We offered you 5. What you want? 6, 7, 8? We're talking about a Tevin Farmer fight. A Tevin fucking Farmer fight ain't no $10 million fight. But they was ready to give you that for that fight. And your people fucked that paper up. Like, and this is the kicker. After they got Davis to, nah, you're not going to do that, right? That's when the Leo Santa Cruz fight came up. Because it's like, you have a fiduciary duty to this fighter. If you will not let him go over there to get that money, you have to compensate him. That's why Wilder got that care package when he was told to reject the zone's $100 million. What does Showtime do after that? They give him a care package for the Brazil fight. They pay him way in excess of what the fight is worth, trying to match the zone's offer to him for that same fight, because they're telling him, don't take that fight. That shit is like, don't take that fight. All right, if I don't take that fight and I leave that money right there, you better give me some fucking money. They gave him some money, but Stefan Espinoza said it himself per an article from Keith Idek. He said, we didn't give him 20 million. We gave him something close to that, but what he got was better. How was it better? He ended up getting his fucking ass kicked for less. You fucking morons. And these dudes and these LDBC dudes was sitting there, oh, he getting generational wealth. He got a generational ass whooping is what he got.
Yep. Julius, for me, a great portion of the problem PBC has right now is about this. Okay, you're Gervonta Davis, and let's say because your body is growing, you can make the weight. Mm-hmm. So you're jumping weight classes, and you have to have guys to fight, right? But PBC doesn't have the means to provide some kind of high value opponents to Gervonta Davis. Mm-hmm. Then, for example, in 114, in the super lightweight division, mm-hmm. you have guys in top rank like Barbosa, Josh Taylor, mm-hmm. Pedraza. Mm-hmm. They are not the best of the best of the best, but are good. They're really good. Mm-hmm. But in PBC, they don't have that. Mm-hmm. For me, the problem, why don't have those guys? Because they don't be all those guys they have in PBC. They are not been fighting enough. They don't have enough dates on PBC to promote these fighters. My question is this: why all these PBC guys are being so inactive? Why they cannot promote?
Let me tell you. The reason they're inactive is because Al Heyman must have convinced them a long time ago that every time they get out there, they're supposed to get 7 figures. And that kind of business model, that's not sustainable. You filled their heads full of bullshit till they believed it. And now you got guys that are willing to not fight, willing to not make money, like Gary Russell Jr. Remember, he was offered Josh Warrington earlier this year, and he rejected it, saying, oh, that's not enough for me, so I'm not going to fight and make shit all year, right? They felt they made them that way in a nutshell. You made it to where these guys think they're supposed to get an arm and a leg every time they get out there. And the truth is, no, you're not. Sometimes you might have to take 6 figures. Yeah, because the value of the fight is the value of the fight, whether you like it or not. The value of the fight might not be what you want. You might think you deserve $1 million. That's nice, but that's not the value of the fight. And we have to pay you in accordance with the value of the fight. This is a business.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
And that's why.
But I understand that for guys like Gary Russell Jr., Gary Russell Jr. is a champion, more or less. But does the same goes for contender levels fighters?
Look at Keith Thurman. He's coming off a loss, lost his world title. Why do you think he sat out for 2 years? He's not going to take a risk unless there's an insane amount of money. He's not going to take a risk. Where did he get that mentality? It's not a secret. Look, difference between Jose Zapata and Keith Thurman is the fire in the belly. Jose's a fighter. He don't say a lot, but look, he's a fighter. Thinks like a fighter. Behaves like a fighter. Whereas Keith, I'm still like, yo, dog, do you know how fucking stupid you sound saying that you're still relevant? Are you an idiot? Are you crazy?
Now, how many times did he say he was making his comeback last year and the year before that?
Jay,
it's like, how many times did he say get back here?
Jay, hold on. Somebody fucking phone is going off and it's driving me nuts. Hey, pick up that fucking phone.
Go ahead.
All right, now. I felt like my All right, now, look, let me get back to my point. What Jose Zapata did, Keith Thurman would never do. And what did Jose Zapata do? He went in there with a young, unbeaten guy that the promotion is actually behind. They're grooming him. They were grooming him, Josue Vargas. And he went in there with that guy, not for big money. No, not for big money, because guess what? It's not a big money fight. It's not a big money fight just because you want big money. The value of the fight is the value of the fight. And that's what determines how much you should get paid. You think you're just supposed to get seven figures all the time. No, it don't work like that. But Al filled y'all heads up for that bullshit. Al let Leo Santa Cruz go out there time and time again, getting 7 figures for shitty ass fights with shitty ass fighters. He the one that did that. So now all of y'all is like that. You're all a bunch of spoiled fucking brats that are willing to sit out and wait instead of getting out there and being relevant and letting people see you so that your marquee value will organically increase. Because right now, yeah, Keith is going to be on pay-per-view. Hey, that's great. I'm not buying that shit. Jay, you buying that shit?
I think you know the answer.
Drew, are you buying that shit?
I ain't buying that bullshit.
They think that because they're on pay-per-view, that automatically means money. No, I'm not buying that shit. You coming off a loss and so is he. Why the fuck would I pay $80 to see you? Are you crazy?
How many buys
this is where I get.
How many buys is that going to do?
Only one.
Like, how many buys is that going to do? Really?
Realistically, this is the thing about Keith. Keith has always done good numbers on free TV, and his pay-per-view with Manny. It did do good numbers. So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I can't see it doing 300,000 for Thurman versus Barrios, but I don't know. Maybe 100. Maybe
that's my guess. 150 max, maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's not.
But
that fight does not
10,000.
belong on pay-per-view. That fight don't belong on
10,000. Only 10,000 pay-per-view. That's it.
That fight. You know what you're supposed to give Keith Thurman for a fight like that? Let me tell you something, Keith. You supposed to sit him down and have that conversation that the dude had in Pulp Fiction. Listen, Keith, you had ability, but if you was gonna do it, you would have did it by now. So what I got for you, Keith, is $500,000. Take it or leave it. If you think you can get more somewhere else, go ahead. Go get it.
My point, Julius, was forget the Leo Santa Cruz fight and the angling of the fight, because Leo Santa Cruz was never they fought at what way? Lightweight? Okay. If you're really in the Gervonta Davis business and you're trying to groom him into a superstar, they need to be 3 or 4 guys like Leo Santa Cruz on PBC.
Yes.
Ready to fight him.
Yes.
If you don't have that, you can expect not even 100,000 pay-per-views. No.
And this is where I'm saying Heyman. This is where Heyman's smart for himself. He's operating PBC as a Silicon Valley tech startup, overpaying these guys with investor money. None of this money's Heyman. It's all Floyd's or Waddell and Reed's.
Mm-hmm.
And he's operating at a loss on paper.
Yes.
But his money and what he makes as a salary comes off the books. Exactly. And he's brilliant. I give the man credit. This is a high level Ponzi scheme, Jules.
No. Listen, it's not. You know why I don't?
Because it's capitalism. I give that credit.
It's like, to me, maybe it's me, right? But I'm thinking, like, you know what's brilliant? Actually making a star, actually making getting him a grassroots following and promoting him. That's genius to me. Heyman is a shyster to me. You a shyster. Plain and simple. You just a shyster.
And that's the Harvard MBA model. He's running it to a T, just in a different industry. That's how they do.
It's not sustainable, though, Drew. It's not sustainable. It's not. That's why I look at it like, nah. This is gonna eventually. It's all gonna come to a head. That's why I don't view it.
It's not sustainable.
It's not like you can't keep. You're gonna have to sell the PBC, and that is what I kind of see. Like, yo, dog, you're gonna have to sell this, and by the time you sell it, it won't be worth shit. What the fuck do you have? Inactive Gary, inactive Keith. Danny at 54.
Who's gonna buy it? Who's gonna buy it?
I don't even know.
For it?
It's like this. Sorry, go ahead, Drew.
Before the pandemic, when Ari Emanuel and Endeavor opened the books to look at it to buy it, they walked right away because they're like, these tickets. There's no ticket rate revenue. There's no ad revenue.
No,
the ratings are trash. It's all smoke and mirrors.
The problem that PBC has is, imagine you have all the ingredients to a burger except the patty. You got the lettuce, the tomato, the bun, the mayonnaise, the ketchup, the pickle, the cheese, but you ain't got the burger. You are not
vegan burger.
You're not grooming fighters. That's the problem. See, Bob is in the business of grooming fighters. Say what you will, but the best fighters in boxing pass through them top-ranked doors. They do. They do. Miguel Cotto, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, Terrence Crawford, Vasil Lomachenko, Teofimo for a time. We got Keyshawn Davis. We got his fucking brother. The best fighters in the world all pass through top rank because top rank grooms fighters. PBC is not in the business of grooming fighters or selling fights. You are selling an image. It's like
and on top of that, Jules, all these PBC fighters, with the exception of Tank and these younger ones, they came through Golden Boy, through their scouts and through that matchmaking.
And let me say this. Golden Boy is not a big outfit it's not a big outfit. But what they got going, they got the eye. They got the eye. They have it. And I wish, if Joe Markowski, if you're listening to me, give Eric Gomez more money. Give him more money. Give Roberto Diaz more money. And you'll get what you want in the USA. Not to say Eddie Hearn isn't doing a great job, because I do think he's doing a great job. But you want the inside track in America? Give them more money. They'll get it. They'll get you there.
Yes, give them more money. Put Virgil on 3-4 times a year.
I need Virgil Ortiz fights all year. I need 4 Virgil Ortiz fights all year. 4.
Keep working close with Zanfer. Keep working close with Espinosa Boxing.
That's another thing. I would say, yo, DAZN, you know what you need to do, right? Now, I'm not telling you that you got to take Zanfer all out of Mexico, because they're a Mexican-based outfit. That's where they do their primary operations, and I get that. But talk to them people. Work something out, because they got what you need. They got killers. Killers that people will actually get behind. Imagine if Emmanuel Navarrete was fighting on DAZN.
Oh.
Whoa.
But Jules, I mean, you touched on something earlier.
And Jules, isn't that what Eddie sees with Canelo, and then okay, we're going to get Mexico popping?
Why you think they doing that? Why you think they doing that? They look. The American boxing scene in America, it is what it is. Maybe it'll get better, maybe it won't. I don't fucking know. What I know is there's a lot of world-class motherfuckers out of Mexico, right? Yes, there's a lot of them motherfuckers. Yeah, there's world-class motherfuckers in Eastern Europe, but they tried that with Golovkin, though. And they tried that with Kovalev. It don't kick off here like that. You know what kick off here? Mexican fighters. Right now, that's where it's at. I'm not talking about where it was. I'm talking about where it's at. The cash cow of boxing right now is what? What is it? So that's what we need more of, right? If we trying to get money out here and keep our hands on the pulse of boxing in America, guess what? Puerto Rican boxing ain't what it used to be, man. It's just the truth. American boxing ain't what it used to be. It's just the truth. What's kicking ass and taking names right now is Mexican talent. So get you some. Get you some. Get Fernando
keep
on the
that
phone.
On the West Coast, in the South. You could develop those Eastern Euros in the East Coast. Because you could get, like I'm saying, you could build a nice buzz, but it's global. It's a global game.
And I'm not even saying that it isn't. It's just that, okay, you got Eddie Hearn is an enterprising dude, right? He got shows in America, shows in UK, shows in Italy, shows in Spain, shows in Uzbekistan. He's all over the place. That's amazing, right? It's amazing. I love it. I'm saying America, Roberto Diaz, Eric Gomez, man. Get them cats more money, man. Give them some more money so they could get some more fighters, so they could do some more shows. I'm telling you, when has Golden Boy put on a boring card? Somebody tell me. When? Both Andrew Cancio fights where Alberto Machado was better than most of what you get at the PBC. Just them 2 fights. He beat the fucking shit out of Alberto Machado. All right? The fucking Virgil Ortiz, Igor Kavaliauskas. The Virgil Ortiz, Maurice Hooker. Even Zerto Ramirez versus Barrios was a fun card.
Bro, they had Munguia and Rosado damn near sold out the Arrowhead Pond.
It's
like
fucking
12. They had like 10, 12,000 people there.
It's fucking live, and I'm like, yo, I see what need to be done. That's not saying that you need to scale back Matchroom USA. No, you don't need to scale back. Add to. You want to add to. Give Golden Boy more money. They know what they're doing. They're just a small outfit that's recovering from a big loss, and you know that. They lost Canelo. Don't act like it don't matter. It do matter. Get them cats more money, man. More money to play. I'm telling you.
Julius, like, did I expand on something right quick that you mentioned earlier about Tank? I believe I was saying on Twitter how like Tank should leave TNT. Like let's just say like hypothetically that when Tank was offered the Tevin Farmer fight, let's say that they let him have it. He goes on DAZN, knocks Tevin Farmer out in devastating fashion, and unifies. Do you think that would have been the correct push right there for him to get off the ground and launch himself? And I just like to add further, like, he gets like however much he got. Wouldn't Floyd, Al Heyman, etc. When they've gotten the chunk of that?
Yeah, they would have got a percentage. They would have got a percentage. Yeah, and they would have been.
Just right.
This is the thing. They're fucking morons because look. Here's an example. Bob saw Teofimo wants more money than the fucking fight is worth. You know what you can do? Go to purse bid. Let somebody else pay for the fight. I'm gonna get my money regardless. He made close to $1 million pure profit.
Yep.
Without spending any of Top Rank's money. Close to $1 million without spending any of Top Rank's money. That puts me in the plus. So if I believe in my fighter, man, you could fucking beat the shit out of Farmer. You better get over there and get that $8 million. You better get over there, knock his ass out, and bring back that belt. That's what the fuck Bob let Jose Ramirez. Oh, they got $4 million for you? Well, listen, bro, I'm not gonna give you that for that fight, but you go over there and get it. What do you think? Went over there and got it. $4 million, career high purse, 2 belts. Sets up undisputed later on.
If he went to DAZN, does he go back to PBC?
Yep.
Say that again. Hold on.
If he went to DAZN to get that money, does he even want to go back to PBC? But if he do go back, can they pay him $7 million again?
This is the thing, right? All right. If he would have went over there for the 8 for Farmer, right? What happens after that is, okay, if he want the 8, listen, we got to put you on pay-per-view for the 8. Hopefully you buzzing, not fake buzzing like he is. You buzzing like you made a viral KO. It's all over the place. People hot for you. Here's the problem. Every single fighter that's out there right now thinks they belong on pay-per-view. All of them. When in reality, only 1 or 2 of you belong on pay-per-view. Only 1 or 2 of you belong on pay-per-view. That's it. Not 3. You got Thurman who want to be on pay-per-view, Crawford, Spence, Davis want to be on paper. Oh, they all got this, and it's never been that way to where it's so many got. No, it's never been that way. Y'all all heard the same shit, and it don't work like that. So let's say he went to the zone, he gets the 8, knocks out Tevin Farmer, goes back to Showtime with the red belt. He's a unified champion. Who do you fight after that warrants the spending? Because you were overpaid for Farmer. You understand? Yeah. That was not the value of the fight. The zone was willing to spend so that they could make a statement. They were willing to overpay. Like Davis versus Farmer, I would put the value of that fight at approximately $3 million.
Yeah.
2 for Davis, 2 for Davis, 1 for Farmer. Because that's not a $10 million fight. Are you crazy? That is not a $10 million fight. But they had it to blow. It ain't tricking if you got it. They got it. It's like, yo, we'll give you 8 to come over here and do that motherfucking fight. And you didn't take that money? Mikey took that fucking money. Yo, we got 7 for you if you fight Jesse Vargas. I'm over there. You're a fucking fool. You are a fucking fool. All right?
And that's why we're saying I don't think Tank needs to leave. You think he needs to leave? Along with everybody?
Why won't he leave, bro? That's the question. Why won't he leave?
It's too late. It's
too late.
I'm telling you, it's too late. You know why? The guy who's got the inside track on the lightweights is the cheapest outfit. I'm not even going to call them the cheapest. I'm gonna be the most economic because that is what they are. They're smart. We're not going to fritter money away on bullshit. No. All right, and that's Top Rank. Who's got the inside track on the lightweights? Top Rank. Who's got the inside track on the super lightweights? Top Rank. So you leave TMT because you want to get the fights. Bob is not going to pay you a fortune to fight Arnold Barboza. You might want one, but no, bro, that's not a $8 million, $5 million fight. You wildin'. You wildin'. Now, if you want to be overpaid, go to Metro. They'll overpay you. But we're not going to do that. That is not a 5, 6, 7. No, it's not. It's not.
Tech's not even making that much now. Like, how much is he being paid per fight? Like $1 million?
I swear to God, if I had to put how much, I think he's getting just a little over $1 million, if not 2. He can't be getting more than that because you got to split whatever.
However much that is. So
you got to split whatever
probably
comes
take
in.
some about $300K.
Perhaps.
Yeah, they said Devin making more than him.
I don't even think Tank's making more than Devin.
Midwest. I swear to God, on God, I've been saying Devin gets more up front than everyone. What did Leonard say 2 weeks ago? Yo, Devin makes a lot of money, but we ain't gonna give him. I've been telling y'all, yo, they don't want to get. They cannot afford Devin Haney. They can't. He makes too much. So how you telling me that he is the cash cow, but he makes too much? That doesn't make sense. He's the cash cow, if anything, because he could get motherfuckers paid.
Earl is the cash cow.
Isn't Haney?
Don't say nothing. Who you think made more money up front? Jojo Diaz or Isaac Cruz?
Jojo.
Who you think made more money up front? Jojo Diaz or Mario Barrios?
Jojo.
He's the cash cow, if anything, because you get paid fighting him. Fucking Isaac got $300,000 for that fight. You the fucking cash cow. All he got was $300,000. That's
like
not
Earl
okay.
Spence is the cash cow 147, but yet Crawford was paid more than him, guaranteed.
I've been telling y'all. Why do you think that Bob? Why do you think that Bob was not? And I understand business wise. Yes, I get it. I'm not offering him another contract because if I do, I have to pay him his contract minimum. I have to, or I'm in breach, and he can sue me. This guy's getting 4 every time he gets out there. Win, lose, or draw, whatever happens. I got to give him the 4. Well, not win, lose, or draw, because if he loses, there's shit that you could amend the contract after that, like what happened to Alvarez when he lost the belt. But still, he's winning, and he's got to get 4 every time he gets out there, period. As long as he's winning and he's a champion, he's got to get 4. Errol, your guaranteed purse by way of the commission is 2. I know that you got a little bit of fake upside money, but what I also know is he gets more up front than you do. He does.
I was just going to say, when it comes to that, well, hold on. I was just going to say, Davis versus Haney. Isn't that a $10 million fight?
No.
They would make I do believe
No,
they'll make a good amount of pay-per-view.
No, it wouldn't.
How much would you say it is? 5? Less than that? Or
6?
6?
5, 6. Honest to
How
God.
many pay-per-views would it sell? 300, 350?
That's what I'm basing it on. No, wait. That's what I'm basing it on. With the right promotion, which I don't understand why this is so hard for them to do. I think they should hire me as a freelance something, because I'm like, yo, you guys have no imagination. You really don't know how to sell a fight. Your directors suck. Whatever you're doing sucks, because I could sell the shit out of that fight. I could. Realistically, that fight does maybe 250,000 buys. 250,000 and 3 is pushing it, because like really.
I'd buy it, by the way.
I'd buy it, but I'm a degenerate boxing fan. I bought Charlo versus Rosario, bro. I don't got no standards. I have no. No, I do have standards, because I'm not buying Martin versus Ortiz. I'm not buying.
I bought the Charlo doubleheader. I bought that. I
bought the Charlo doubleheader. I did buy that because there was a unification match.
Mm-hmm.
Haney versus, and this is Haney versus Davis does in this climate maybe 250,000 buys.
No, it's still $20 million.
Yeah, but remember, out of the
$80.
Wait, now remember, Sawab, out of the 20, 30 to 40% of the 20 has to go to the operational costs. Almost half of that. So almost half of that, what's left? 10. Out of that 10, you got to pay for other shit that's on the card. You got to pay the other fighters. You got to pay these guys. And you got to pay and the other thing is you got to pay the network, because nobody's doing this for the sake of doing it. People are doing it to get a profit. You understand? Like, I'm not doing a pay-per-view to be doing a pay-per-view. I'm trying to get money. It's a lot of people to pay. And out of that 10 or that 11 or whatever that's left over, you got to pay a lot of people before you even fucking pay Devin and Javante. That's what I'm saying. A lot of cats, believe it or not, you don't belong on pay-per-view. Davis don't belong on pay-per-view. No, you don't. It's in the numbers. 215. We know it didn't do that. It did 170. You don't belong on pay-per-view. You're lucky you sold that. You don't belong on
his
pay-per-view.
last fight probably made just about $4 million.
If that.
So,
and not only that, a lot of these fans think that these fighters get all of the gate revenue. No, they don't. That shit goes to the venue.
Yeah. The thing is, you could rent a venue out for like, I think what I saw. It doesn't cost that much. It's a flip. And like everything in business is a flip, because renting out a venue, like if you got like say a $3 million gate, but renting out the venue is like a little over 100,000 or some shit like that. Like it's a flip essentially. There's a flip, but it's that there's other things to pay. That's my point. There's other things to pay, and just like you said, all the gate revenue don't go to the fighter. All the pay-per-view revenue don't go to the fighter. All right? A lot of you cats don't belong on pay-per-view. Sorry. No. Now, Haney versus Davis, of course I would buy it. But I know realistically that fight in this climate, 300,000, that's crunchy. 300,000? Porter versus Crawford only did 135 to 190. So think about that. If Porter versus Crawford, welterweights, not even little men, welterweights, all that brought in was somewhere between 135,000 and 190,000. You think these two midgets are going to bring in more than that? Really?
No.
And remember, and I'm not trying to be tribalist. I'm being honest. There's no Mexican American fighters. There's no Mexican fighter involved. They are the ones that will buy it. Now, if it's Davis versus Garcia, now you're cooking with rice. If it's Davis knocking his chin off his shit, now you cooking with, because Davis versus Garcia, I think, could do 5, comes to mind. Like, yeah, I think 500,000 people would buy that fight.
I'd buy that too.
I'd buy that fight. I believe 500,000 people would buy, not 1 million. I believe 500,000 would buy that fight. But Haney Davis,
it's a tough sell. It's still a tough sell.
And here's the big. Now pay attention to this, Sawab. Pay-per-views and having to break even. It doesn't even come into it if Leonard would get out of his fighter's way and let him go to the zone because they can pay for it. No pay-per-view. They can pay for it. You don't want to let them. And that's why I don't like them.
You know why? You know what would have been easy? Just not, like what's funny, like we're seeing the ramifications of now Canelo fighting on PBC because he made off like a bandit and ran with the cash, which I have no problem with, but why didn't you just let him go to the zone? Was that hard?
Jay, what was I saying? As a consumer, I would have preferred Canelo versus Plant on the zone because it comes as no additional charge to me.
Yeah, it's part of our subscription. I read, Jules, I wasn't happy about that shit paying $80. I mean, I did it because it's Canelo, but I would have preferred to see it on the zone.
Thank you. Now, remember, initially, all this kicked off. They wanted to bring a Davis versus Farmer fight to the zone. It would have been at no additional charge to you, no additional charge to me, and Gervonta Davis would have made a career high purse of $8 million. And what do? They talk him out of it to maintain loyalty to their network affiliate that gives them a budget because they prioritize that network affiliate more than the fighter, even though I thought you're his manager. Why are you more concerned with him? Why are you more concerned about giving him content when this is better for him? You're supposed to be focused on him, not him.
And to further expand on that, like, you remember how, like, you were just talking about how Deontay Wilder fought Brazil, like, the zone offered him $20 million, and then Showtime offered him a care package close to that. So that put them in the red, right? When they gave him that money. So if you knew that put him in the red, why give it to him in the first place? I know you have an obligation to, your content creators and stuff like that, but if you know that would put you in the red, why the fuck would you give him that much money?
I know why. Because they thought they were banking on staying in the Deontay Wilder business. They didn't realize that after that, the very next fight, he'd go to Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucked him,
They were trying to put that Brazil fight on pay-per-view too. I remember that. They were trying to pay-per-view that.
You remember the speech that Stephen Espinoza gave after he read that loyalty?
Yeah.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
Remember he said, imagine Wilder telling somebody I ain't gonna fight you unless it's on his platform. That's exactly what the fuck y'all be doing, though. That's exactly what the fuck y'all be doing.
If we offered Deontay Wilder his opponent 3 fights, you guys would murder him for that.
You remember. Now, when they gave him that money, Jay, right? They figured that Wilder won't leave. Wilder gonna stay right here because we just gave him that bread, not realizing the PBC itself is gonna backdoor you, bro. They sent him over to Fox. They passed him over to Fox because they prioritized at that time. They were prioritizing their relationship with Fox, and all the good fighters from Showtime was going over to Fox. Spence was going to Fox. Keith Thurman was going to Fox. Wilder's going to Fox because they had just struck that deal, that landmark deal. Oh, we with Fox now. Fox is bigger than Showtime. That's it. And remember that Showtime was kind of falling in the background. I'm like, oh, y'all fucked us. So now y'all fuck with Fox? All right. And I think Stephen Espinoza is still salty about that, if I'm being honest. And
who are the big PBC fighters that fight on show? Like Tank does, the Charlos did, and is that it?
The Charlos floated. Exactly.
Plant did, him.
But the Charlos floated because when they struck the deal with Fox, their first doubleheader was on Fox. It did about 2 million views. It did very good views. Their first doubleheader was on Fox, but they looked like doo-doo, so they ended up going back to Showtime. Because remember the Matvey Korobov fight?
Then Jamel lost the hair to Tony.
Yeah, like they looked like doo-doo in the fight, and then they ended up back on Showtime after that, right? So all the A guys, right? Like Spence, Spence versus Mikey Garcia, Fox pay-per-view. Spence versus Porter, I believe that was also a Fox pay-per-view. Danny Garcia fight, that was also a Fox pay-per-view. The Pacquiao fight, if he would have had it, that was going to be a Fox pay-per-view. And Spence is one of their A-listers, right? Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao, Fox pay-per-view. Just look at look at which pay-per-views was on Fox and look at what pay-per-views was on Showtime, and you see that PBC was giving priority to the relationship with Fox. It's like, damn, y'all got Pacquiao on Fox, Thurman on Fox, Spence 3 pay-per-views on Fox. Like, goddamn, what y'all left for Showtime? Gervonta Davis and Caleb Plant.
But what killed me is like how Caleb said live on in his interview after he beat Truex. Yep, live on Fox. Yeah, I think enough. I like.
You remember that originally the Canelo fight with Caleb was supposed to be on Fox until Fox passed on it. They passed on it like, nah, we're not going to take that risk for a fighter we don't have under. Because that's what I would have did. Like, hold up, I'm about to get this red hat $40 million, and we don't got a contract on him. You wildin'. Fuck that. I'm out. Fuck that. Like, nah.
Y'all, Showtime, y'all can take this, bro. Yeah,
take
y'all
that
good.
shit.
Yeah.
So now here's the thing, Jay. Inside intel, Showtime budget got cut. I've been knew that. So I'm like, yo, if they budget got cut, where they got 40 M's? Where they got 40 M's?
Was this recent?
No, it's been going on since the pandemic and a little before that.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, okay.
All right, so so I'm like, yo, hold up. If they budget got cut, how the fuck they got 40 M's for Canelo that they willing to risk, but Fox don't want to risk it? That don't make sense. Fox got more money to play than them. Something not right. And then I see Floyd bitching and moaning. I'm like, oh, I know where the 40 came from. I know where the 40 came from. No wonder. That make perfect sense. That's why
he can't shut his damn mouth.
That should make perfect, because I'm like, yo, dog, you not
Canelo
gonna tell
stole
me.
his money.
Pretty much. And it's and the same thing that happened. The same thing. It's
That
like
man came dressed in the leg with the last fight he was in, and now he got fucking licked.
Now let me read these super chats. Working late, but do you guys think Usyk would actually fight Canelo? I mean, I think he would do it. I don't see why he wouldn't do it. I won't be surprised if Terence Crawford jumps Spence and posts the fight to YouTube. It's hard not to feel a little sorry for Spence. He didn't know what kind of beast Crawford. If he jump him in the parking lot, like, yo, I'm gonna beat the fucking shit out of you, yo.
You know what I do to Spence? You know what I do to Spence if I was Terence Crawford? I'd Shannon Briggs as that. You know, Shannon Briggs was trolling Klitschko, following his ass everywhere. Like,
exactly.
I have to do that shit.
Go, champ. Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ. Let me read it. Let me keep reading. I got super chats piled up. DTCSM says, does Tank fight a big name in 2022? If so, who does he pick? I feel like relatively speaking, the most feasible fight would be Ryan, but because I feel that Ryan is a centerpiece for Golden Boy, I struggle seeing that fight get made. And I think he might get got in 2022. I think that might be the year where Davis falls. So I'm not sure that he fights a big name next year. Willie says, the truth is Canadian no-names make more than PBC fighters because, as you said about Rocky Ring, they have a hardcore fan. Yes. Like a lot of people don't realize in the Bridgerweight fight, it was a lot of cats in there that was in there for the what's this kid's name, man? The dude that Oscar Rivas fought.
Ron Rosicki?
Rositsky. It was people there because when you got a grassroots following, that's how you do it. That's how it's supposed to be done. That you start local, people hear about you, they watch you fight, and you got that to fall back on. That's really what's going on with Derek Chisora. Like, yo, why you think Derek Chisora with fucking 10 losses can still sell tickets? Because he got a local following. He don't got to travel. He can fight in the UK.
Oh.
Is he still the A side in this rematch this weekend? He is, right?
Well, I don't think Joseph Parker the A side to anybody, bro. Like,
so what does Fox have to offer as far as other than just two measly pay-per-view between Ortiz and Charles Martin and fucking Keith Thurman and fucking Mario Barrios? What do they got?
You see what I believe it was Keith Idek who said it best. Outside of them two pay-per-views, no comprehensive schedule. You saw Sean Porter doing commentator work on the Zone. Don't that tell you everything you need to know?
They have a media rights partnership with the NFL for 11 more years. Motherfucking PBC can't even get 11 more hours, man. Come on.
My God, they don't have they stable as doodoo. They stable of fighters.
Did y'all hear that
doodoo.
rumor that Spence might be fighting Virgil Ortiz?
I mean, he could get money doing that because
Virgil is ranked number 1 by the WBC. I mean, so
and you know Mauricio would love for Virgil. He would love to put that fucking
another
title
Mexican.
Of course, you already know that's what he want.
They'll probably just skip the final eliminator in order to fight.
Probably. Shit.
Julius, Jugas is a PBC fighter.
Yes.
Does Butaev and Stanionis are PBC fighters, really?
No, Stanionis is pro bellum Richard Schaefer.
And
Butaev, I don't believe right now he's a PBC fighter. The only reason he was there was for Jamal James, who is a PBC fighter.
But those guys are fighting in Showtime, right?
Yes, but they're not Showtime fighters. It's like Nonito Donaire.
Okay.
Nonito Donaire is a pro bellum fighter. He is promoted by Pro Bellum, managed by Richard Schaefer. And Showtime won the purse bid for the Ubali fight. Cool. And his last fight with Raymar Caballo, that was on Showtime. Cool. But he don't got no exclusivity deal with Showtime. And he's not a PBC fighter. He's a Pro Bellum fighter. And Pro Bellum is just MTK by another name. At least that's what a lot of people have been telling me in the network. That's just MTK, bro. That's all that motherfucking shit is. Don't you see how many fucking countries they popping up in?
Yeah, and Yugas fights in Showtime, not on Fox.
Yes, he fights on Showtime.
So what Fox has to offer?
Well, I don't know that Ugas has an exclusivity deal, which is specific. That means that you own, like Davis has an exclusivity deal. He's never fought on Fox, ever. You know what I mean? I don't know that the situation is similar with Ugas because wasn't the Pacquiao pay-per-view on Fox? Wasn't that on Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that means no exclusivity. Like Fox and Showtime are two different networks. The parent company for Showtime is not Fox, for example, it's CBS. So those are two different networks. If you see that a fighter can float from one network to the other, that means that he has no exclusivity. He's not stuck on that network. He can go to Fox if he wants to. You know what I mean? But Ugas, I don't think he has exclusivity on Showtime because the Pacquiao pay-per-view was on Fox. Will the tournament be on Showtime? Yes, I believe it will. I believe Ugas versus Stanionis will be on Showtime because Fox doesn't look like they want to spend any money. That's why everything is being put on pay-per-view. They like, yo, dog, we're not going to give you bread for that. Get the bread off pay-per-view because we're not going to pay for that. Or at least we're not going to pay for all of it.
The only thing I know, you better sign Stanionis quickly because Stanionis is going to beat the shit out of you guys.
It's too late. He's pro bellum. I don't know what Richard Schaefer wants to do with him. Maybe Richard Schaefer will see about striking a deal with Showtime for pro bellum.
Does that fight go to a purse bid, Julius?
No. It's done. They reached the deal.
So it's gonna be on pro bellum.
I don't know if they will try to go to Showtime. Like people see the number Showtime put up. Nobody want to go over there just so 200,000 people can watch a fight.
Well, the zone. Well, put it this way, right? If they don't want to go to Showtime, you say, can they get a deal at ESPN? No. Can they get a deal on the zone? Maybe, but feels like no. Are they going to develop their own monthly platform? They can, but you're going to limit your audience. People don't fuck with you like that. They don't know you like that to be paying you $5 every fucking month for $10, $20 or whatever it is. So where do you go? For now, let's go to Showtime. For now.
Is Stanionis even any good? I've never even actually seen him fight, to be honest.
Young, strong guy, big guy, pressure guy. There's a chance he beats Ugas.
Okay.
He's a pressure guy. Hits hard.
Yeah. The thing is,
do you think it's a chance we see PBC do go to the zone? I think that's a real I think that's a big chance they go to the zone.
That's possible. You know why, Midwest? Because who's gonna buy them? You feel me? Who gonna buy them?
Eddie.
I don't see Bob like Bob ain't gonna be like, bro, you ain't got shit for me to buy, bro. Like it's nothing over there for me to buy. It's nothing over there. What the fuck I'm buying?
No, they don't have anything to buy for.
Bob ain't dumb. Like you think I'm gonna pay Keith Thurman $3 million? You can suck my dick 3 million times. I'm not paying that motherfucker that. Fuck out of here. The only person I can see buying them guys is probably Eddie at a competitive price. Because I'm like, yo, who the fuck else is going to pay for these dudes? Shit. Many Dave Allen fights as Eddie put on, like, yeah, they'll buy them dudes. They'll use them for something. Yeah, if anything, they'll use them for commentary.
Listen, you got motherfuckers like Adrian Broner kind of asking for, like, you know what? I want what Mikey Garcia's getting.
Good luck.
So,
good luck. they're not gonna spend that on you because you're not worth that. We saw that. Look, I expected so much more from Broner versus Pacquiao in terms of buys. I really thought that shit might do like 6 because of Broner mouth, because he talk a lot, and that's gonna get people hype. Yo, that shit only did 3 and change.
Damn.
Yeah, because the only thing I think they need to have in the zone to be really competitive in the market in the welterweight division are those belts. And you have Spence that is damaged goods for all we know. You have John Porter that now is retired, and you have Keith Thurman that is kind of retired.
And Danny Garcia,
who's going to 154.
Though I don't even count Garcia. Really.
Yeah, he doesn't count.
Yeah, so
you need to shit at welterweight.
So those belts are for the taking because you are not only have to worry about Crawford. You don't have to unify, really. The Spence doesn't have to unify with Crawford's, and you guys neither. But these young contenders that they are not signed with the PBC, I think those belts are gonna,
Leo,
they're gonna change.
Yeah, I think Spence is gonna gracefully walk away from the welterweight division and move up to 154. He's gonna drop the titles.
To fight who?
It doesn't matter. He's gonna drop the titles.
He's gonna fight Giovanni.
He would rather
Santiago.
drop the titles
He's gonna
than lose
fight
to either Virgil or Crawford.
Giovanni Santiago from 147 at 154. Look, Leo, pay attention. We're getting the undisputed fight sooner than later, the undisputed rematch. When that's over, do you honestly think the winner of that fight is going to stay there? Because I don't. Not if it's Jermell, and I think Jermell's going to knock out Brian. I think he's going to knock him out. After he knocks him out, he moves up the middle. Jermell moves up the super middle. Maybe fights Caleb Plant.
Yeah, about Jermell, the big brother. If he moves to middleweight, what is going to do?
Fucking fight guys that his brother fought. He fucking both.
Shit, yeah, probably for a vacant belt too. Who knows?
I'm dead at like look.
Yeah, but he's going to have to fight Munguia or someone like that.
Bueno, ponlo así, Leo. Mauricio he wants to give Munguia that title, bro. Let's just be honest. Like, whenever he gets the chance, that is what he wants to do. Mauricio makes it very fucking obvious that that's what he wants to do. So maybe they'll work out a situation to where Jermell or whoever's there is the WBC International or the WBC Silver or some shit, because they might have pressed the WBA, but they haven't stopped the WBC from coming out with these kooky ass belts.
Yeah,
maybe he could be the WBC Texas champion, Dallas Cowboys champion,
the Texas Toast champion,
the Jerry's world champion, and they'll have Jerry face on the belt. On that note, gentlemen, I'm going to fucking sleep.
Good night, man.
Okay, Jerry.
Good night.
Nos vemos.
All right, Jerry.